Hello, welcome to Jason the Old Millennial. My name is Jason, speaking to you here in my basement in the great state of Kansas. And today I am continuing my series of showing off my Blu Rays and DVDs I owned in my collection. And today I'm going with the letter M in the alphabet. Anyway, so I got a lot to cover here on Jason the Old Millennial. Hello everybody, hope everybody's doing well here on a Tuesday evening, and I'm continuing my series of showing off my Blu Rays and DVDs I own in alphabetical order. I'm all the way to M, so I'm actually kind of getting somewhat towards the end of my list. I don't really have a lot. I do have some, of course, after this, but letter-wise they get a little smaller. M is a really big one. I have a lot to cover in the M section, and you'll see why. And so without further ado, let me go on with my Blu Rays and DVDs and the M's. First, we got Disney classic Mary Poppins. Hello, governor. Sweep your chimney, I will, I will. That's my English accent. Hope it wasn't too offensive to my English friends. That's about what you get out of Dick Van Dyke in this movie. But, oh man, absolutely childhood classic. One of my favorite childhood movies of all time. I watched the heck out of this as a kid, and I still get enjoyment out of it. It's mostly for nostalgia, though I think the story is a little bit slow moving at times as an adult. I do love the magical moments of going into the chalk sidewalk, into that world, into the 2D animation world is real fun, and the scene on top of the chimneys is just a blast anyways. But yeah, so many great songs as well, so definitely still one that I love to go back to from time to time. Of course, first, and I want to say only Disney movie that got nominated for, if you don't, I know you're gonna count Black Panther, but not counting Marvel Black Panther, I guess just the regular live action movies. It's the first, and I want to say about the only one that's been nominated for Best Picture, which is pretty fascinating because I don't know, Disney live action usually doesn't get nominated for Best Picture. They're usually more family friendly. They don't have that edge that you usually need for a Best Picture nomination. But yeah, and Best Actress win for Julie Andrews, her first movie role. This came out in 1964. Wins the Oscar on her first role. I mean, absolutely huge, iconic Mary Poppins. Now, the next movie is going to start a series of movies. I put it under M because I put it under MCU for Marvel Cinematic Universe. So these are all like my Marvel movies that I have in the MCU period. I call it from Iron Man to Endgame, basically. And I think I have 10 movies. So my top 10, I ranked every single Marvel MCU movie from Iron Man to Endgame earlier or late last year. And so basically my top 10 is what I own on Blu-ray. So we start with Iron Man, the original. Really great start to the series. Was blown away when I saw it in the theater back in 2008. I wasn't expecting really that much out of it. Iron Man wasn't a big superhero character that I knew about. And of course, Robert Downey Jr. wasn't a huge star at the time, and him doing that made him a huge star, and he's one of the biggest stars today, I think. And it's such a great role. He was amazing in it. It's got comedy, some good action sequences, very well done. One I still really enjoy. Then I got Iron Man 3 also, is one that not everybody really likes this one. I really enjoy this one as well. As you notice, I skip Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2 is one of my least favorite in the MCU. But Iron Man 3 I really enjoy. It's one of the funniest, I think, out of the MCU. Still love the characters, and yeah, just a real fun movie for me. Then I got Marvel's Avengers, another movie that just game-changing. I mean, absolutely game-changing in the movie world, especially superheroes maybe, but even just in movies general. It really set this trend of building the cinematic universe, and everybody's trying to do a cinematic universe because it's made a bunch of money, and absolutely amazing. Watching the theater, I was just blown away, and it was just, I couldn't believe they did it. I was like, that was my thing. It was like, I can't believe they made a Captain America movie, Iron Man movie, Hulk movie, and then put them all together, and Thor movie, and then put them all together in one movie. Like, that's never been done before. Totally game changer. Still one of my favorite action movies. One of the best in the series. Next, I got Black Panther. Obviously, I haven't seen Black Panther 2 yet, so it'll be interesting in that. Hopefully, I think it comes out February 1st on Disney+. Yeah, this is a movie I was actually disappointed when I first saw it. Then upon rewatching it this last year to do my rankings of the MCU movies, I found myself really liking this movie. It's in my top 10 favorite MCU movies. I think I love the story and the set design and costuming. Everything was just really well done. Anyways, and the action was okay. It could have been better, but overall, really good movie. Next, I got Guardians of the Galaxy. I usually try to put these in chronological order. I obviously don't have this in chronological order for some reason. I just kind of put them together, I guess, but just bear with me with that. But yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one. Yeah, one of my favorites. Again, great, one of the best comedies, and Guardians of the Galaxy is becoming like maybe one of the best franchises in the whole MCU. I don't have Volume 2, though that's one I'll probably get at some point. Because rewatching Volume 2, I'm enjoying that movie more and more than I did the first time watching. Guardians of the Galaxy, though, the first movie just was so great, so surprising. Didn't realize how much I'm going to like it. I love Chris Pratt. He's a great combination of guy that's really funny and charismatic, and also buffed himself up to be a guy who can do action now and all that. So yeah, kind of real pleasant surprise. But yeah, I love Guardians of the Galaxy. Real excited for Guardians of the Galaxy 3, see if they can really finish out the franchise. Next came out the same year as Guardians of the Galaxy. I think it came out in 2014. Like, it was a great year for superhero movies, because like you had Guardians of the Galaxy, which killed, and then you had Captain America Winter Soldier, which was one of the best action movies I saw in the series. The Russo brothers took over, and man, they did an amazing job and made tons of money in the MCU and can do just about anything now. But yeah, I love Captain America Winter Soldier. I think it was a much bigger improvement over the first one, in my opinion. The first one was kind of boring, and this one, the action is absolutely amazing. His fight with Winter Soldier is really good on the overpass. When we did on Adam's What the Gym channel, we did our top 5 Marvel moments, and that was in my top 5. That moment, that fighting on the overpass on the highway, such a great scene. And also some good emotional moments as well. But yeah, just a really well put together movie. Saw it twice in theater. I liked it so much. Next, we got Avengers: Age of Ultron, which to me is an underrated movie. This is a really, really, really good movie. Coming off of the first Avengers movie. I think it's maybe a little too long. That's why people don't like it. And there's lots of storylines that come in that don't really go anywhere. But a lot of added characters. But man, it's a fun movie. It's got that great comedy that I like. And yeah, really good action shots. The very first scene has a lot of good camera work. And then I absolutely love the Hulk versus Tony Stark's Hulk bulking suit, huge, Iron Man suit. That whole scene is great. And the last scene where they all kind of bind together and fight those robots, that robot army from Ultron, just really fun stuff. Yeah, real joy. Next, I got Thor Ragnarok. By far my favorite Thor movie in the series. Unfortunately, they couldn't replicate this one for the fourth one, which I kind of wish they did. I mean, Taika Waititi is such a revelation through this movie, where you're like, wow, this guy really knows how to mix in comedy and action. And he's a director, writer, also a funny actor as well, and he does Korg in here. I don't think they should do any more Thor movies, but maybe they should have ended on Thor Ragnarok. That would have been a great ending to that series. Unfortunately, they made a fourth one. We can maybe just forget that exists and just pretend that third one's the last one. But man, I would say it's the funniest. I laughed the most at Thor Ragnarok. And as you can tell, I love when I love action comedy. So I love when they combine good action sequences with some funny characters and funny scenes. Yeah, this movie, really funny. Love Jeff Goldblum. He's absolutely hilarious. I love the whole scenes where they go into that planet and have to deal with the battle arena, and the whole Thor Hulk battle is great. And then the last battle at Asgard is absolute, with the Immigrant song playing from Led Zeppelin, just perfect for that scene. Yeah, great action sequence, really funny movie. Let's see what I got. I guess I'll end with Endgame probably, but I got another one of my favorite out of the series, Captain America: Civil War. Definitely like a top 3 movie in the MCU. It's like an Avengers movie. Almost everybody's here, and we had some infighting, but man, the action is, again, the Russo brothers just totally knocked it out of the park. Really interesting story. The dealing with the Winter Soldier, and then you get Black Panther coming in, which is a big deal, which will do really well with the Black Panther movie. And then you also come in with Spider-Man, which is one of the biggest superheroes in the genre, and really kind of made Tom Holland a star, and Chadwick Boseman was already kind of becoming a star, but that really made him a star. So it was great getting those two characters in. That airport battle sequence, again, top 5 favorite Marvel moment. Really fun getting everybody in there and getting their own shots, and even Ant-Man getting in there and becoming huge. What a fun sequence. Great. The way they choreographed it, the way they edited it, really fun. Even the first scene is really well done action sequence. And then the last scene is very emotional, but also very good storytelling and a good action moment as well of, friend betrayal and so forth. And absolutely amazing movie. Then we get, this is the last of my MCU movies that I have. Avengers Endgame, the best, the granddaddy of them all, the end all of the series. Obviously, we got more Marvel movies, but to me, this is like the end of the Infinity Gauntlet storyline, which is so great, and Thanos storyline. Ends that storyline on such a high note. I mean, I've talked about it so much. What more can I say? Such a great ending to the series. Very emotional. I cried multiple times during it, and every time I watch it, I cry multiple times. That last battle action sequence is probably the best action sequence of all time. As far as big battles go, I've never seen a big battle that great. And the whole portal scene, it just gives me goosebumps every time. But yeah, absolutely amazing movie in the series. All right, coming out of that, I got Men in Black. This is back in the late 90s, I want to say. Real fun movie still. I saw it in the theater and just absolutely loved it. Of course, the sci-fi. Will Smith was really coming huge at the moment after Independence Day. He was great because he was really funny. He's a funny actor who also really buffed himself up to be an action actor as well. So he does really well in these action comedies. I say sci-fi too. He's really good at these sci-fi movies. But it's just really, I love the concept of like these aliens living among us, and there's this government agency called the Men in Black that kind of keep track of them and what's going on and make sure, the bad aliens don't destroy the planet. It's an interesting storyline, the secret society, and that there's aliens living among us. We just don't know it. Of course, that's always interesting. Really great sci-fi element, great design, great creature designs. I think it won an Oscar for that, for makeup or costuming or something. I think makeup it won because they have a lot of cool creature designs. I think it's Rick Baker, absolutely amazing, one of the best in the business. And I love the duo of Tommy Lee Jones' very seriousness and Will Smith's comedic timing. They worked actually really well together. And it's just a real fun action sci-fi movie, I think, and I still enjoy it today. All right, now getting to my Mission Impossible movies. I got one I got out there by my TV because I just bought Mission Impossible Fallout during Black Friday, and I still haven't gotten to rewatching that one. I need to rewatch that one that I have, and so once I rewatch it, then I'll put it into my shelf with all the other Mission Impossible movies. But here we got Mission Impossible 3. I think really changed the Mission Impossible series from 1 and 2. I don't feel like they really knew where they were going. First one, not a lot of great action in it. Kind of a boring movie, to be honest. Second movie is like stupid action. Like the action's just a little too much. It's John Woo action, so I don't know. It didn't really fit the genre or fit the series to me. They really hit it with the third one, I think, and they got J.J. Abrams to direct it. J.J. Abrams' first movie, I believe, he's ever directed, and totally knocks it out of the park. Tom Cruise, absolutely amazing in the character, but it really sets the tone for the rest of these. It feels like the first two are kind of its own thing, and then number 3 through now we're gonna get Dead Reckoning this year, part 1, and then part 2 next year, I'm guessing. And that might be the end of the series. I don't know. So I mean, I don't know how many is that. Like 7, 8 movies. This is kind of the beginning of this almost series that really kind of combines together. So forget the first 2 and just go 3 through that. The series has been absolutely amazing. One of the greatest action series of all time. Absolutely amazing stunts. Again, Tom Cruise absolutely amazing here in the role. And they're real fun movies, of course. Again, provide a little bit of comedy here and there, but just the stunt work is really great, and the action sequences, absolutely amazing. And then we get Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, and you got the famous scene where he's hanging off of the biggest building in the world or whatever. And he really did it in real life, and it really kind of started this whole thing where, like, Tom Cruise is crazy. He's getting up there in age, and he's still doing absolutely amazing stunts, doing his own stunts there. But yeah, another really fun Mission Impossible movie. It's hard for me to say what's my favorite. I like all these so much. And then we got Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. Like I said, I got Fallout. It's over by my TV, though. I don't have it in my shelves here, but I've shown that off before on Black Friday. But yeah, another great entry to the series. Yeah, what can you say? Just really great Mission Impossible series. Really looking forward to the next one. And we get one of my favorite movies, classic movies, a DVD of it. I couldn't find a Blu-ray, but one of my favorite from 1955, Mr. Roberts. I mean, here you got this. I love this cast here. I mean, it's a who's of some of the great actors, I think. We got William Powell, Henry Fonda, James Cagney, and then Jack Lemmon. Jack Lemmon, absolutely amazing. Wins the Oscar for second role as Best Supporting Actor. It's really a comedy at heart, I would say. It's a really funny movie. There's some great comedic moments. But then there's also some very good serious moments. And like I said, Henry Fonda is really good, I think. He plays it a little more serious. Jack Lemmon is more of the comedic timing character, and William Powell also, who plays the doc. And not to go too much into this movie, I don't have time, but they're on a boat during World War II. Henry Fonda is Mr. Roberts. He wants to get off the boat because it's just a cargo boat, and he wants to get onto a battleship and experience like battles in World War II because he feels like he's not doing enough to help the war effort. And the captain, who's like really mean jerk, James Cagney's character, won't let him off the boat because he's too good of a soldier, or he's too good of an officer to let go. And he's trying to ride his coattails to become an admiral. And yeah, really great comedy. I can't recommend that movie enough. It's one of those that I always tell people, like, if you haven't seen this movie, let's watch it. If someone comes over my house and like, let's watch a movie, I'm like, let's watch Mr. Roberts. I think it's an absolute classic. Then I got one of my favorite Disney animation movies, one of my favorite top 10, it was in my top 10 animation movies of all time, Moana. Great musical, love the songs, the Moana, and I forget the name of all of them, but all great. Welcome is maybe my favorite from Maui's one of the great characters too. I love Maui. One of my favorite Disney side kind of characters, somewhat in Disney's. Very funny. Dwayne Johnson does a great job as doing the vocal work there. But yeah, really funny movie, and the music is just absolutely fantastic. So it was always great for me. I love animation movies that are funny and have great music, and that definitely fits into that mold. We go to one of my favorite Pixar movies, Monsters Incorporated. Again, I got the DVD. I couldn't find a Blu-ray for this. Maybe someday I'll trade this in for a Blu-ray, unfortunately. But I got the DVD here. Again, top 10 favorite animation movie of all time. Definitely top 5 favorite Pixar movie, probably top 3, somewhere in there. Sometime, I got my list out. I have to look at it. I'm going to do a ranking every single Pixar movie at some point. But yeah, very funny. Love the dynamic between John Goodman and Billy Crystal as the main two characters, Sully and Wachowski. Yeah, fun movie, but also very emotional. The last scene, oh man, that brings a tear to my eye. Love the relationship that Sully develops with the Boo, the little girl, anyways. And then also about, being fairy to something you don't understand. So many great moments in that movie. One of my favorites. I'm going to go to another classic. I think this is the oldest movie I owned. This is Mr. Deed Goes to Town from 1936. It's a Frank Capra movie. I'm a huge fan of Frank Capra. He's one of my favorite directors. He's so good at directing these old comedies that has a lot of, like I said, comedy in it. It has some drama as well, of course. Like It's a Wonderful Life is his most famous one. I got a couple, of his in my collection. But also some good romance usually in his movies. And I don't know, it's just very likable characters. and a story that you really enjoy, and it always has a really good happy ending to it. It makes you feel good at the end. So I like these movies because it always makes me feel good. Anyways, but yeah, we got Gary Cooper and Jean Arthur in this one. You probably heard of Mr. Deeds, which was a remake with Adam Sandler. This wasn't too bad, but this is a really great movie where Mr. Deed gets inherited a bunch of money, but he's kind of this country bumpkin who doesn't really want the money, but he kind of moves into this mansion. And you see everybody doesn't like the fact that he's giving the money away, like for charity and stuff. All the other rich people like, what? Like, you should be keeping your money and just spending it on yourself. Anyway, so he's kind of this outsider in this rich world. And he also, of course, falls in love with the Jean Arthur character. I won't go too much into that story, but really great old classic. Mr. D Goes to Town. Here we got another one of my favorite movies of all time, one of my favorite 90s movies, Mr. Holland's Opus. Here I got the DVD. I couldn't find a Blu-ray for it. I saw this theater back in, I think, 95. Yeah, 95. It was such an amazing year. But great movie about appreciating your teachers, and about a guy, Mr. Holland, who's a music teacher, doesn't want to be a music teacher, becomes really good, and actually develops a lot of great friendships and helps inspire the students to become better. And that's what you like about teachers that do that take that extra mile to really help out students to feel better about themselves, maybe, or to push them to be better. Anyways, and that's what he does. And it's it's got, again, very emotional movie, very dramatic. Richard Dreyfuss, absolutely amazing. Nominated for Best Actor for the role. It covers 30 years from 1965 to 1995 in this guy's life, him and his family. And he has so much drama within the family as well that he has to go over. But it's a really good feel-good movie with, I said, drama, comedy, some really good music, in fact, too. And yeah, really good feel-good movie, I would say. I can't recommend it enough. And then I got another great Frank Capra movie, one of my favorite of all time, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, with one of my favorite actors, James Stewart. And again, you got Jean Arthur again, who was in Mr. D Goes to Town. Love this one. Really cool Blu-ray that I got. Has a lot of information in there, but yeah. Absolutely love this. Talks about the corruption in politics in Washington, D.C., which we talk about all the time today. This was made back in 1939. They were talking about the corruption in the Senate back then. We still talk about it today. It's always been corruption. Anytime you have politics, there's corruption. And it's about a guy who goes into politics, who's new, doesn't know anything, Mr. Smith, and realizes how even the best people compromise their moral values to gain power. Anyways, and so it's a great movie of a naive guy kind of figuring out the harsh world of politics. And Jim Stewart, absolutely amazing, great performance, nominated for Best Actor, one of his best of all time, and just a likable character. And that's what James Stewart's so good at, being likable. And so one of the greats. And then I got two Muppet movies to finish out my M's. We got my favorite Muppet movie, The Muppets Christmas Carol, and also, like, to me, a top 5 best Christmas movie of all time. I absolutely love this. Watch it every Christmas. Muppets, I love the Muppets characters. And this, of course, Christmas Carol. Christmas Carol is one of the best Christmas stories of all time. So it's a great combination of the two. It's got the great storyline with Michael Caine playing Scrooge. And then you get the Muppets, so it's really funny. And the music is absolutely amazing. I absolutely love the music. And it's a movie that Tiny Tim makes me cry every time. Even in this comedy, Tiny Tim is such a sympathetic character. And I'm going to finish my M's on The Muppets, my second favorite Muppet movie. It's such a great revival kind of the Muppets. It hasn't been around for a while. They made this. Jason Segel helped, I think, write it and star in it with Amy Adams, another great actress. And it's a great, just really funny movie with some amazing, again, music is absolutely amazing. I love the Muppets because the comedy is great, and they usually do pretty good with the music. It's a musical, basically. The music numbers, Man or Muppet won Best Song, but Pictures in My Head is probably my favorite in here, just a very haunting song. And even the very first song is really fun. But yeah, if you like the Muppets, this is a must. One of my favorite all time. So that's my M. So I'm running out of time here. So please comment what is your favorite of those M movies that you like. I would love to read them. And just thank you for everybody watching this video. Thank you for liking it. And just thank you to all the subscribers for supporting the channel. I appreciate you all. I hope you have a good day.